Derek, first is the worst, filmmaker behind it.
Nice to meet you, thanks.
No, lovely to meet you. So congratulations, thank you for being here. And just tell me, always the same opening question, if you can give us some premise of the story and how you became involved in it.
Well, I mean, I'm the writer-director of First is the Worst.
Yeah.
The premise of the story is it's the story of a future hitman who has the unfortunate task of performing his first kill. So it's kind of the beginning of his story arc and his journey into this kind of world of crime. I wrote a feature film based on the same character, and it kind of delves a little bit more into his story. But I wanted to put the feature aside, and I decided, no, you know what? I'm going to put this feature aside, and I'm going to write something that kind of goes into his character at the beginning of the story arc. So I thought it was really interesting. So I pulled together a crew, hired Marc Andre, the producer, who I know also has another film here, and we made the short, and we're using it as a proof of concept to hopefully fund a feature down the road.
What, a feature based on this short film?
Feature based on the same characters involved in the same world. So,
right.
Yeah.
And how long did it take to sort of get the whole thing together?
Well, from beginning to end, I met Marc Andre last April 2015, and then we casted, we did our location scouting, we hired everybody we needed to hire, and then we were shooting by September. It's only a 7-minute short, so we finished post-production by, I think, mid-November, and then started submitting it to festivals. So.
And how's it gone so far?
So far, so good. We're really happy to be here.
No, that's really kind of you to say, but what kind of reaction have you had sort of generally?
To be honest with you, the first festival that is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, right, okay.
I mean.
So you're going over to Cannes afterwards. I assume you're going over to Cannes afterwards, are you?
Yes, that's right. We're going to Cannes.
Just
to visit, though.
Yeah, it's the madhouse that is Cannes.
I know it is.
So where was it all shot?
The film was shot in Toronto. We decided to really try to choose locations that really popped out.
Oh yeah, because you're Canadian, of course.
That's
I know,
right.
Obviously, Mark.
That's right. Yeah. So we were trying to find some interesting locations in and around the Toronto area. Like as you see, the Scarborough Bluffs are in the feature. There's also some gritty, kind of industrial-looking areas. Toronto streets, which kind of can look a little gritty. I wanted to give the film like a dingy, urban, kind of depressing feel. We were actually looking to shoot on a gloomy day, and we got lucky. It was supposed to rain all day, and it only rained in the morning on one of the days that we were shooting. So, but we did get that grey, overcast sky, which we were really happy about.
Just moved to London, get it every day.
That's that's what some people have told me.
So, obviously, you're always going to shoot in Canada. That's a given. But I mean, how does that compare to? Because I know a couple of people from LA here have said to me, you need permits and licenses, and is it the same kind of gig over the border as well?
You do need permits to shoot on the streets. However, it's not that hard to get them, and they're free.
Oh,
and you can.
You just apply for them.
You just have to apply and tell them where
That's
you're going to be, and maybe I shouldn't let the cat out of the bag.
No, well, look. I know lots of American filmmakers go over to Canada because of the tax breaks.
That's right.
So I'm guessing, I don't know if as a Canadian citizen, if you get the same. I honestly have no idea how it works. But it makes sense if you're going to go where you can. You're going to go where you can save money,
right?
And it just happens that because you're actually based in Toronto.
We're based in Toronto. Yeah, we live in Toronto. So, but so the question again was.
Yeah, the permits and.
The permits, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to. So I mean, to get permits, we just had to apply for them. We just had to let them know where we were going to be, kind of at what times, on what days, and and we shot, and if people got in our way, we told them, hey, look, we got a permit, and some people are savvy to the film industry in Toronto, and they were trying to challenge us on that, but
really,
some people were just kind of being cocky and thought to themselves, well,
why?
I can park here if I want to, and
why? It's bizarre.
I don't know.
Some people jealous, aren't they?
Some people like to try to throw a wrench in your plan, but.
And did it all go? I mean, other than that, did it all go sort of according to plan?
Mostly it did. I mean, we were lucky to really have really good people on the shoot, and they're all professionals, working in the Toronto film industry, and we were able to get them, we were able to get some really good people to work on the film. So I was really happy with the way it turned out.
So no sort of real glitches, everything went sort of, yeah.
To be honest, not really. No, it really was pretty smooth. I mean, we, scheduled it out. To give us enough buffer time, just in case we needed some buffer time, but we didn't even really need to use it. We even, we were kind of losing sun on the last day, just for losing light on the last day for the last shot. But other than that, we seemed to go pretty much on schedule, and it turned out to be pretty relatively easy 2 days of filming, considering.
And now I know you had a budget. I'm not prying. I don't need to know. It's not
Sure.
my business. But did it come in around the sort of cost you was hoping it to be?
Yeah, it did actually. It did. I mean, we
so.
were over about $2,000, but that's small in the grand scheme of things. I think so.
So, but that's and in terms of the finance, was that all? Is that something that you all had to raise? What was involved?
So it was all personally financed. Myself and my partner, who was also a producer on the film, Anna Sand. All fully funded by us, and we just kind of wanted to take that leap and wanted to do something. So we just decided, hey, look, this is what we're going to do, and we'll put the money towards it. We'll see how it goes.
And why particularly, getting back to the storyline, I know you said it was like a future. It doesn't mean it was set in the future. It was a gangster around.
He's a hitman who's not yet a hitman, so he is going to be a future hitman. Right. I guess it's a little confusing.
No, sorry. I suddenly started thinking Looper, and then you explained.
That's all right. Yeah. No. No
but why particularly that strand story? It's something you must have.
I've always been interested in crime stories and those kind of like gritty kind of films that happen in the city, and I really like that aesthetic. And I wanted to develop a character who I can work with, not so much in terms of working with him throughout several different films, but I really wanted to have a character, to kind of build a character, to kind of see what his arc will be over time. And I was kind of trying to feel where I could find that, so I decided to make First Is the Worst, and that to me is
the taste. There's a taste, sort of thing.
Exactly, it gives you a taste of who he is before he gets into this other world. So
because the 7 minutes to 90, 120 minutes, whatever, that's quite a leap, isn't it?
It is.
But you have the story in place to actually expand on that.
I do, yeah. I wrote a treatment, I guess, or an outline, a skeleton of the screenplay. So I pretty much have the whole story mapped out, and I've written the screenplay. I've written about 3/4 of the feature screenplay. No problem.
Okay.
I've written about 3/4 of the feature screenplay so far. So, we're going to work with it a bit. We might need to revise it a little bit, but overall, it's the story's said and done, and we're ready to go. So.
And it wouldn't be too much to flip this, because if you've got the story ready, it's a matter of obviously having the dominoes all in place to actually put this together. And,
that's right.
And has there been any kind of? I know this is the first one you sort of pushed this at, but I assume there's tendrils in the background that are looking at getting finance and putting this all together as we speak.
That's right. We are trying various different methods of doing so. I mean, we might go to family and friends for a little bit of funding. We are trying to get as many eyeballs on this film as possible. So, networking with other filmmakers is really important. Trying to get into some local festivals, especially because since we're from Toronto, it's a very film-friendly city in North America, and I know that there are a lot of film festivals in Toronto, other than TIFF, the big one, that do accept these kinds of shorter films that are maybe a little bit more indie. So and since we're from Toronto, we know a lot of people there. So we want to get as many eyeballs on it as possible, and hopefully, down the road, it will help to help us fund the feature.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're here to promote your film, but as I said to our filmmakers today, what you really want to do is be actually making films, of course, isn't it? Yeah. But this is all the part and parcel of doing the whole process, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And finding out exactly.
It's one step at a time, right? You got to kind of take it one step at a time, and you got to kind of, in the past, it used to be that you could pitch a screenplay to somebody and they might be interested in financing your movie. But I'm finding these days, you really kind of have to do it first and show people what you're capable of to even get any interest, and then 6 months down the road, if you're still making films, then they're really interested in you.
Really? Is it that simple?
Yeah, because it's expensive and it takes a lot of time and effort, and it can be crushing sometimes because there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, which is good. I don't mind creative criticism, but as a person doing this and putting yourself out there and investing the time and the money, it can be challenging sometimes.
And this is your first. Sorry, did you say this is your first actual job?
This is my first short film where we've kind of taken it up a notch. So I've always kind of I'm a videographer and an editor by training.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been a freelance videographer for 10 years. That's how I pay my bills. But as a writer-director, this is the first film where we've kind of taken that leap and decided, okay, we're going to we're going to raise the bar a little and spend a little more money. All the short films I've made in the past have always kind of been myself with a camera, maybe one or two actors, locations that we just kind of could get access to very, very easily. But this one, you know, we hired everybody, we paid everybody on the project.
Right.
It was a professional endeavor that we wanted to kind of undertake, so we're pretty happy with how it turned out.
And what's the difference between between a videographer and a DP?
So, I mean, I shoot a lot of commercial, corporate, documentary, live event, live webcasting, stuff like that. Stuff where it's not necessarily terribly cinematic. It's more or less event filming and getting content. So I shoot a lot of that in my personally. Not personally, for my work, rather. And a DOP, cinematographer, is somebody who shoots a little more cinematically, so they'll shoot films, mostly. So, you know, on the one hand, I do a lot of event stuff, a lot of kind of, I don't know how else to put it, just it's event
Yeah,
shooting,
so
mostly, you know.
I suppose, excuse me, I suppose another way to put it is, if I was making a film and there's a sequence in the film that required a drone with a camera in it, because let's be honest, helicopters, those days are becoming long gone, aren't they, because they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So would I go to a DP, would I go to you?
Yeah, I mean, you would probably, for a drone shot, you'd probably go to a specific drone operator who would also be working with I do actually work with a drone operator. He flies.
Right, so you do things.
I have done some stuff where I'm just solely operating the camera on the drone.
Yeah.
And he's operating the drone itself.
But someone wants that nice shot, and that's what you're there for.
That's who you
so
get.
really, I guess so from that point of view, you are a DP, really, aren't you?
I mean, I've done jobs where I have been considered the DP. It's just that's not the majority of what I do. So I don't ever like to really play that up. I really kind of want to tell people I'm a writer-director because that's kind of where I want to go. But yes, I have done some stuff like that.
And stuff like that. Well, I sort of jokingly inferred that shooting from helicopters is but that's kind of true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because of the cost implication. I mean, obviously you can buy a really good drone now for $10,000, less than $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, these days you can get some pretty good footage with. I mean, you can even. I mean, this guy he'll put up some 4K resolution DSLRs on a drone, a little bit bigger than a Phantom, which is kind of the smaller ones where you would maybe throw a GoPro up on one of those. You know, so you throw up a DSLR with a gimbal and on a bigger rig, and you can get some pretty amazing shots with that. You know, you can zip in and out of locations where you wouldn't be able to usually. I mean, you should really. I mean, there are a lot of rules in Canada and in particular about that. Yeah. With permits and stuff, and Industry Canada is really kind of going through the motions to try to kind of regulate that as best they can. But right now, it's a little bit like the Wild West in Canada, as far as I know. So people are trying to get what they can as soon as possible.
Yeah, because
before
as soon
they tighten
as
it up.
our drone's been proven to hit an airliner, because it's going to happen somewhere.
Then it's over.
Then it's over, isn't it?
Then it's over.
Because it doesn't matter where it is. It could be in Malaysia, it could be in Spain, it could be anywhere.
That's right.
Canada, it's finished, isn't it?
That's right.
Every government, every Westernised government's going to say this isn't changing now.
That's right.
It's a serious accident, you know.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the time is coming, really, isn't it?
You know what it is? Drones have been around now for about drones have been around, I'm sure, for a lot longer, but for about 3 or 4 years, I'd say, is when they've really kind of accelerated.
Like really low cost and really good quality,
exactly. Isn't it? And so we've kind of, you know, trying to do the right thing by trying to get the right permits and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, if somebody calls you and they want a shot, and, you know, because you've got to really do the paperwork. It takes about 10 days, I think, to get the paperwork done to really get a proper permit to fly a drone through the proper channels in Canada. So if somebody wants you tomorrow, you're not getting that permit.
It's not, yeah, which you can't. You can do that for a helicopter. You could, if you had enough money, you could book it the next day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it's changed. So after so you've got this one, hoping to make a feature. And what else is in the pipeline that you're looking at?
We have another feature film that we're interested in doing. It'll be a summer camp slasher film, which kind of takes off a whole other genre, the horror genre. And we're looking so it'll be an ensemble cast, you know, quirky kids going to a Christian summer camp, actually, and you know, something will bring them to their knees, and I'm not gonna. I'll leave it at that. I think. I don't think I need to tell you any more than that.
So that's the one after, hopefully, the funding will happen.
That's the idea. I mean, we want to keep our irons in the fire, so kind of whatever happens first, we're gonna kind of maybe go that way. But that was the idea, having that down the pipe to work on next.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Old habits die hard. You'll always find a junkie where they love to get high, even if they know it'll be their downfall. Seems like they just can't say no to drugs.
We think Casey's a rat. We think the cops nailed him and he gave him some information he shouldn't have. thing is, I need someone to make sure.
Well, I think I can do that.
Yeah, but the catch is, if it turns out he's two-timing us, you got to take care of him.
Stop! Huh?
What'd you think would happen?
What are you doing, man?
Huh? Get over here.
I didn't. What I'm doing?
Sell out your friends.
He's
Live large with
what?
your mouth. Look
What
up
are you
and get
talking
down.
about?
Get down.
What? Please don't kill me.